Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I'm going to tell you the story of my life. And I'm going to start at the beginning when I was a little kid with a head full of golden curls. They called me the Flying Afro because I played soccer and I was a goalkeeper. I made a lot of saves, but that came later. At the very beginning, I was this tiny person who was actually born with an elongated head, and my parents were very alarmed when I came out of the womb. And I was born in Fort Lauderdale, in Florida, and we lived in a very nice place called Pompano Beach. It was relaxing, it's full of golf courses and a lot of trees, and it's almost a retirement community. And it was super nice. And I returned there over the years many times because I have family that lives there. And fun fact, one day when I was about 6 months old, the machine that heated up breast milk actually fell on top of me and deeply burned my thigh. And my dad got in the car, slammed the doors, and drove over to the hospital. And on his way there, the police stopped him because of how fast he was driving. But fast forward to today, I'm fine. I just have a scar on my thigh, but it's all good. Just, you know, times like that can be alarming, scary. And not that I remember it, but I'm sure it was scary for him. And so after a year, we moved to this really nice place called Weston. It's a suburb of Miami near Fort Lauderdale too. You could call it a suburb of Fort Lauderdale as well. I started to grow a little bit. My parents had my little sister, and it was really nice times. We lived on this house with a huge backyard and a lake, and I remember golden sunsets, trampolines, barbecues, soccer. We had a soccer goal in the backyard. My dad would always train me to be a goalkeeper. We would always go to the park and eat these Entenmann's pound cakes and donuts. And I had a bunch of buddies, and we would just run around and play video games, play FIFA, play Star Wars Battlefront, and just chill. Times were really simple in those days. I loved to read, or I started picking up reading. So that's a funny story. So one day, my dad, before he went to work, I remember he went to work and I had a vacation day at school. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he gave me this novel, a Pokemon novel, and he said, read it and tell me how it was when I get back. I was like, all right, okay, Dad, sounds good. And so he gives me the novel and I do a bunch of stuff. I play with Legos all day. I used to love just building Legos. I think that contributes to why I like building systems today. And so I build these Legos all day and I do this. I ate some Rice Krispies and I watched TV, just did little kid things. By the time my dad got home, I realized, well, I hadn't read the book. And so my dad asked me, hey, so what was it like? Did you like the book? What was in it? And I just made up a bunch of stuff. He was like, oh wow, that's really cool. And that was it. And I remember feeling so guilty after that day. And the next day he just gave me another book. He started giving me Magic Treehouse books. And I just couldn't lie to him. So I felt so bad that and it was funny because I was a little kid. And I saw it as wrong. And I read book after book. I started to love reading. I read Magic Treehouse. Then that led on to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That led on to Harry Potter. That led on to a bunch of books about zombies, The Hunger Games, Game of Thrones. Today, Brandon Sanderson and his series. I read the series about the lawyer. Forget the name. You know that lawyer series. You know what I'm talking about. And I just picked up a love for reading when I was really little, all because I lied to my dad one day. So that's funny. But anyways, just going back to Weston, it was really nice times, like the trampolines and the barbecues, and my family, my parents had a bunch of family friends, and they were very close with them because we, like, their kids were friends with me and my sister, and we would just hang out all the time, and we still remain friends to this day, right? People I treasure in my life, and those days were so simple. Just being a little kid and play FIFA and building Legos, and we had these Lego swords that were like made of styrofoam, and we would just fight each other with them. And I have this one buddy that we'd always make fun of, and he did Taekwondo, so he would just kick our asses all the time, because we would make fun of him and he would just fight us. But I mean, it's all love, obviously. And Weston was a really nice time. And there was a time where actually one day my mom sat me and my sister down, and I remember we there was a computer in my mom's bedroom, and my mom came in to her bedroom. I was on the computer. She brought my sister in. She's like, "Hey guys, I need to tell you something." And my dad had left the house for a while. He hadn't been in, and it was kind of suspicious to me. But again, I was like 7 or 8 years old. I remember it was the fall, um, and the fall in Florida is really nice because you can go outside, and we had this backyard, like I said, and the grass feels really cool on your toes. And I used to play a lot of soccer, and that's beside the point. And we used to play outside. We also had these birds that called Astro and Narnia, these parakeets that after the third day, my dad just let them go on purpose when we were washing the cage. It's horrible. Like we lasted 3 days with the birds. Anyways, um, and so my mom sits us down and she's like, "Hey, your dad and I are getting separated for good, and we're moving to Panama." And that was huge. That was a huge shock. I mean, that was like, my brain exploded. My little sister started crying. I was just like in Jupiter. My head was everywhere. And that's the end of the first chapter of this vocal telling of the story, this vocal reflection of the past. There's more, and as I tell this, more details come up and more memories emerge. But an important reflection I will make is that the past does not define who I am today. And the world is open. It's an open place for creativity. And I'm excited to keep building, keep making more videos, keep building more software, keep designing more systems, and keep improving the world around me. So thank you for taking the time. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep following my story. This is just the beginning. So if you're looking for real value, be patient because it's coming. See ya.